Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
So what shall we do today?
Ma'am, linear equations in two variables.
Equations in two variables.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Done. Shall we do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Linear
Yes, ma'am.
equation. Now, what is the general form of a linear equation in two variables? General form.
Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0.
Correct. Ax plus by plus c equal to 0. A and b are called
Constant, ma'am.
Constants.
constants or coefficients. They are constants, but they are also called as coefficients of x and y. What is c called? C.
Constant.
Constant. Okay. Now, how do you solve this equation? How do you solve? If you have to find x and y, how do you do it?
We put some values.
Okay. Put some value.
And
For
if
what?
that value is equal to 0, then it is
Put
yours.
some value. It will give you the value for y. Actually, if you have one equation in two variables, if I say x equal to 5, what are the values?
Ma'am, your
of
voice
x
is
and y?
breaking.
Ma'am, voice is not clear.
Clear? Now, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
See, if I say x plus y equal to 0, can you solve x and y? Find the values of x and y. How many solutions will it have? X plus y equal to 0.
Infinite.
I'm infinite.
Infinite values. Correct. It has infinite values. If I have to find the values of x and y, I need one more equation. Correct? Now if I say, I'll write on the whiteboard because some of you are saying my voice is not clear. Now see children, if I say x plus y equal to 5, it has infinite values. If I say x minus y equal to 2, can you find x and y?
Ma'am.
Can you find what? How?
Ma'am, we have to imagine one number for the value of x or y. And we substitute in place of x and y.
Okay. But if I say x plus y equal to 5, x minus y equal to 2, then if I add the two equations, I'll get 2x equal to 7, x equal to 7 by 2, that is 3.5. Then y will be 5 minus 3.5, that will be 1.5. So if I have to find the values of x and y, I need two equations. If I have only one equation, it is not possible. It will, because it will have infinite number of values. Correct?
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
So, to find the actual values, I need two equations. Then I can get the exact of x and y. Okay? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let us check some more. Now supposing I give you this equation. X plus y equal to 7, 3x minus 2y equal to 11. Can you find out x and y?
Yes,
This is first equation, this is second equation. Both are connected. How do you find? From equation first, x is equal to what? X equal to
7 minus y.
7 minus y. Now put this value here. 3 into 7 minus y minus 2y equal to 11. So how much is y?
4, ma'am.
That is 7 into 3 is
No,
21
ma'am.
minus 3 minus 2y equal to 11. How much is y? What is the value of y? What is the value of y?
Ma'am, minus
Minus? Yeah, x is 5 and y is 2. Aishwarya has written x is 5 and y is 2. So minus 5y equal to 11 minus 21. So minus 5y equal to
10, ma'am. Minus 10. Minus 10,
minus
ma'am.
10. So y will be minus 10 by minus 5, minus 4 by 2. So Aishwarya's answer is correct. Y equal to 2. So what is x? Put it here. X equal to 7 minus y. 7 minus
2, ma'am.
2.
2. That is 5. Now, if you want to know whether it is correct or not, you should satisfy both the equation. 2 plus 5 is what? 7.
7, ma'am.
So 3 into 2 minus 2 into 5. Will it give 11? 3 to the
6. 6, ma'am.
6 minus
10. 10, ma'am.
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
here
Value of x is 5, ma'am.
x is 5, y is 2, correct?
Yes,
So
Yes,
3
ma'am.
into 5 15.
15.
15 minus 4 is 11. Correct? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So our answer is correct. Y is 2 and x is 5. This is known as substitution method of solving a pair of linear equation. This is a pair of linear equations. If you have only one equation, it will have infinite values. If you have two equations, we can solve them. Okay? Okay?
Okay,
Hello?
ma'am.
Now, how do you draw the graph of 3x plus y minus 4 equal to 0? How do you draw? Draw the graph. How will you draw? Do you know how to draw?
Ma'am, first we have to
Ma'am,
find the coordinates.
Find the coordinates. How to find the coordinates?
Ma'am, we have to take out that -4 to RHS, ma'am. We get 3x plus y is equal to 4, ma'am.
Huh. 3x
Then we
plus
have to
y.
make.
We have to give values for x, find the value of y, or you can give value for y and find the value of x. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So I
ma'am.
can give 3x, x equal to 0. Then y will be?
Four,
I'm
ma'am.
giving x 4. 4. Then I will give then x
Ma'am,
will
when the
be,
value of y is 7, the value of x is -1, ma'am.
when the value of x is, y is what?
Y
7,
is
ma'am.
7, ma'am. Value of x is -1.
7 you are saying.
Yes, ma'am.
-3 plus 7 equal to 4. Correct. So enough, two values enough. Then we draw x-axis, y-axis. So 0, 4. This is 0, 4. -1, 7. So join. This is the graph of 3x plus y minus 4 equal to 0. What is the equation for a line parallel to x-axis? Equation. What will be the coordinates here? What is the coordinate here? 0,
1.
0, 4, ma'am.
Here 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the coordinate here? Here
4, 2, ma'am.
4, 2. What is the coordinate here?
Minus
-1,
1,
2.
2, ma'am.
1, 2. So here it will be 2, 2. Here it will be 3, 2. So what do you notice here? What do you notice?
Now, y coordinate is 2 in all the cases.
Yes, ma'am.
Y coordinate is always 2 and x coordinate is different. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Line is parallel. Okay. Parallel to x-axis. If the line is parallel to y-axis, then what happens? This
X
will be,
coordinate remains same.
x coordinate remains the same. Y coordinate will be different. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Supposing I give you a table like this. xy minus 2 minus 3 0 1 2 a 1 3 b minus 7. How can you find the values? Now I'll give you a clue. After drawing the graph, how can you find? You draw
I'm
the
drawing the
graph.
perpendicular.
Why perpendiculars? Draw the graph. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So minus 3 minus 2 will come here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
0. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 0, 1 will come here. Correct?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, minus 2 comma
ma'am,
minus
how
3.
minus 2 comma
It-
minus 3 come there, ma'am?
Ma'am, it
2
is
comma
minus 3 comma minus 2.
Ma'am.
Sorry. It will come here. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is not correct. You're right. This is minus 2 comma minus 3. Now 2 comma a we don't know. 1 comma 3. One comma 3 will come here, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What we will do is we will join it. No? So from 2, you draw a perpendicular. So where it cuts this one will be 2 comma a. So what is the value of a? What
Ma'am,
is the
5.
value of a?
4.5.
Correct. Now similarly minus 7. Minus 7 is somewhere here. We can find that value also. Okay. This is the graphical method. So let us see some other questions. If 2 comma 0 is a solution of 2x plus 3y equal to k, then what is the value of k?
Ma'am, 4.
4, ma'am.
4.
4, ma'am.
4, ma'am.
Correct. Can you give one solution for 2x plus 0y equal to 0? One solution. Two x plus 0y plus 9 equal to 0.
Minus 9 divided by 2.
Minus 9
Is equal
divided
to
by
man.
2. And
Is
then,
equal to
so 2x equal to minus 9. X equal to minus 9 by 2. Okay. What is the value of y?
And we can take 1, 2, 0, anything, ma'am.
Yeah. Y is 0. There is no y, no 0 y. So minus 9 by 2 comma 0. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the graph of 2x plus 3y equal to 6 cuts y-axis at, I'll give you options, you have to tell me. 2 comma 0, 0 comma 3, 3 comma 0, 4 options. Where will it cut? Cut y
C
axis.
option, ma'am.
C option.
How?
Ma'am, if we put the value of x is 3 and value of y is 0, and we get 2 into 3 plus 3 into 0. 2 into 3 is 6 plus 0 equals to 6, ma'am. Therefore, 6 equals to 6.
But it is cutting the y axis, no? Supposing this, it is cutting here. Equal to 0.
0,2, ma'am.
Ma'am, 0,2.
0,2. 0,2.
Yeah, you have to put x as 0. So 3y equal to 6, y equal to
2, ma'am.
the 0, 2. Correct. How can you rewrite x equal to 7 as equation in 2 variables? How can you write?
X plus 0 point y
X plus
minus
0
7
y is
equal
equal
to
to
0,
7.
ma'am.
X plus 0
why
y
should-
plus 7 equals to 0.
Yeah.
Minus 7.
See, yeah. In algebra, for multiplication, we write point or brackets or into. This we avoid because it looks like x. When we write point, we don't read it as point. That is into. So, here x equal to 7. So, x plus 0y equal to 7. So, x plus 0y minus 7 equal to 0. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
If you write point there, it is not point. It is into. Into means multiply.
Okay, ma'am.
The dot is not decimal. It is a... Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Any point on x-axis is of the form x comma y, 0 comma y, x comma 0,
X comma 0, ma'am.
x comma x. X comma 0 is correct. Correct. And then x equal to 5, y equal to 2 is the solution of to 7, 5x plus 2y equal to 7, x plus y equal to 7, 5x plus y equal to 7.
X plus y.
Ma'am,
X plus y is equal to.
X plus y equal to 7. Minus 2, 2, 0, 0, 2, comma minus. Now, you have to write a solution, an equation which satisfies all the three. I'll give you options. Y minus x equal to 0, x plus y equal to 0, minus 2x plus y equal to 0, minus x plus 2y equal to 0.
Ma'am, y
All the
minus
three.
x is equal to 0.
y minus
Yes,
x
ma'am.
equal to 0, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. First option.
2 minus of minus 2 is 0.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Y is 2. Minus of minus 2.
It is not 0.
No, not 0. It is 4. X plus y equal to 0, okay.
Ma'am, x
This
plus
is
y
minus.
equals to 0 is right. Ma'am.
Ma'am, y minus x equal to 0.
How? Y minus x equal
Y
to
equal
0
to
means.
2, ma'am. 2 minus bracket minus 2 is 2. Sorry, ma'am, sorry.
Plus 2. It's 2 plus 2, no?
Sorry.
No.
Second.
Ma'am, x plus y equal to 0.
Ma'am, second option is right, ma'am.
Yeah, x plus y equal to 0. Minus 2 plus 0, 0 plus 0, 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. All the three, it should satisfy. If you have an equation y equal to 6, this equation is parallel to which axis?
Ma'am, repeat.
Y equal to 6. This line is parallel to
X.
X axis.
x axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll get like. Okay. Next. The equation y equal to x passes through
Ma'am, origin.
Yeah.
From origin.
I have many graph questions. How can you write this one? X varies directly as X. Y varies directly as X. So we will write Y is proportional to X. Okay. If Y is 12, when X is 4, write a linear equation. And when X equal to 4, we have written what is the value of Y when X is 5. Y is proportional to X. How will you write the equation? Y varies directly means Y is directly proportional to X. How will you write?
Ma'am, 4x plus 12y.
4x plus what? How will you write the linear equation? Y is proportional to X. Y is equal to Kx. What is that K?
Constant,
What
ma'am.
is K? It is a proportionality constant. So Y is 12 and when X is 4. So what is the value of K?
Ma'am, 3.
3, ma'am.
K equal to 3. Now, what is the value of Y when X is 5? So Y equal to K into 5. How much is K? 3 into 5. Y is 15. Correct?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next equation. Write a linear equation. Write an equation for X, Y. X is 6, Y is minus 2, X is minus 6, and Y is 6. You have to write an equation. Six minus 2 minus 6, and 6 are the points on the graph. You can write any equation, but both should lie on that graph. Have you heard of this equation y equal to mx plus c? Do you know?
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
This is called as slope form. Slope form of an equation. So m is called as the slope. Now take the first equation, the coordinates. So minus 2 equal to mx plus c. We don't know the c, we don't know, x. X is 6. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So minus 2 equal to 6m plus c. Can you tell for the second one? Six is equal to
Minus 6m plus c.
Minus 6m plus c.
minus 6m plus c. Correct? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you subtract second equation from the first equation. Equation second minus first. Don't add. If you add, 6m will get cancelled. We are finding the value of m. If you add, you will get the value of c. Minus 2 plus 6 is? Minus 2 plus 6?
4, ma'am.
4, ma'am.
4. 6m will get cancelled. C plus c?
2c, ma'am.
2C.
So what is the value of c now?
2, ma'am.
2, ma'am.
2. Now we want m. Minus 2 equal to 6m plus 2. What is the value of m?
Minus 2 by 3.
0.
Minus 2 by 3, ma'am.
Minus 2 is 6m, not 0. 6m is minus 4. M is minus 4 by 6 minus 2 by 3. Now we got this equation. Substitute. Y is equal to minus 2 by 3x plus 2. This is the equation for this solution. Now, how will you remove this fraction? That is not standard form. How to make this whole number? We don't want fraction here. Then, how to remove that 3?
Multiplying 3 on both the sides, ma'am.
Correct. Multiply by 3. So you will get 3y equal to
Minus 2x plus 2.
Minus 2x plus 2, ma'am.
6, not 2.
No, ma'am. 6, ma'am.
How will you write it in standard form?
Minus 2x plus 3y. Minus 6.
Minus-
No, ma'am.
Minus 2.
Plus
Minus
2x.
3y plus
Y
6.
is equal to minus 2x plus 6.
Minus 3y plus 6 equal to 0.
Plus 6 equals
Am I
to
right?
0, ma'am.
So this is the equation which will have these two as solution. You can check. If you want. How to check?
Putting the values of x and y, ma'am.
Correct. So minus 2 into 6 minus 3 into minus 2 plus 6, we should get 0. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Plus 6 plus 6 will give you 0. Then I have to put this value. Minus 2 minus 6 minus 3, 6 plus 6, I should get 0. This is 12, 18, 6. Do we get 0?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the equation for this. Okay? Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Next, see, the temperature of a liquid can be measured in units, in Kelvin units. And here, y is equal to 9 by 5 x minus 273 plus 32. Okay, this is in Kelvin scale. We have two other scales. What are they? Temperature scales. What are the temperature scales?
Ma'am, degree Celsius.
Celsius and Fahrenheit. Now we also have a Kelvin scale. Okay, this is Kelvin scale to Fahrenheit. Y is Fahrenheit and X is Kelvin. Kelvin scale. Okay. Now, if the temperature is 313 Kelvin, what is the temperature in Fahrenheit? X is Kelvin. Find out.
104, ma'am.
What you got?
104.
104. Yeah, let us check. So you have substituted, no? So y equals to 9 by 5,
Yes, ma'am.
313 minus 273 plus 32, 9 by 5. This one is how much?
40, ma'am.
313.
40, ma'am.
40, ma'am.
40, ma'am.
40 plus 32. 5 8s are 72 plus 32.
104, ma'am.
4, ma'am.
So your answer is correct. If the temperature is 158 degree Fahrenheit, what is the temperature in Kelvin? So y is 158. You have to find x. Y is 158. How much is Kelvin? Y is 158. You have to find x. Anybody? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Find the value of x when y is 158.
343, ma'am.
343.
343.
Let us find out. 158 equal to 9 by 5 x minus 273 plus 32. So I'll take 32 here. 158 minus 32 into 5 by 9 equal to x minus 273. 158 minus 32 is
126. 126, ma'am.
126. Multiplied by 5 by 9 equal to x minus 273. 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 3. 3, 1, 3,
4.
4. So x will be 273 plus 14.
No, ma'am. Ma'am, 14 into 5, ma'am. 14
to 5.
14 into 5. How much is that?
70, ma'am.
70,
70,
ma'am.
ma'am.
343, correct. Degree Kelvin, correct. Next, next equation. For what value of C the linear equation 2x plus cy equal to 8 has equal values of x and y. For what value of C? X and y are equal. You have to find the value of
Equal to
C.
2.
C equal to
2, ma'am.
how?
By trial and error method.
If C equal to 2, will x be equal to y?
Yes, ma'am.
How? 2x plus 2y equal to 8.
2 into 2 equal to 4, ma'am. 2 into 2
Ah.
equal to 4. That is equal to 8, ma'am.
There can be other values, no? Only one value. See, that means x equal to y, correct? So I will put 2x plus c into x, cx. In place of y, I can put x, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Cx
Yes,
equal
ma'am.
to 8. So x into 2 plus c equal to 8. 2 plus c equal to 8 by x. So c equal to 8 by x minus 2. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, x can take any value. So we can just say this is the required equation. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
C can take any value. But it should be 8 by x minus 2. X can be any value. You don't know. Find a point on the graph of equation 2x plus 5y equal to 19, whose ordinate is 1.5 times its abscissa. Ordinate is means what? Ordinate.
Y-axis, ma'am.
Y
Y
value.
coordinate. Y coordinate. Y value is ordinate. Abscissa?
X.
Axis.
X-axis, ma'am.
Yeah. Now you have to find a point on the graph. The equation is 2x plus 5y equal to 19. So y equal to 1 by 2, 1.5 x, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So 1.5 means 3 by 2 x.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
So now, what's the given equation? Given equation
2x plus 5y is equal to 19.
equal to 19.
19. Now you substitute for y, you substitute. Find the value of x.
2, ma'am. X equal to
X equal to 2. 2x plus 15x by 2 equal to 19. So 4x plus 15x equal to 38. 19x equal to 38. X equal to 2. Now how much is y? 3 by 2 into 2. What is the value of y?
3, ma'am.
3, ma'am.
3,
Y
ma'am.
is 3. Coordinates are 2, 3, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
You have
ma'am.
to find the coordinates. That is 2, 3. Any doubts you have, you can ask me. So we have done everything in this, I think. Next question. Celsius temperature C is 5F minus 160 by 9. Temperature is 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Find the temperature in Celsius. Do this. 86 degree Fahrenheit. You have to find the temperature in degrees Celsius.
30, ma'am.
Ma'am, 30.
30. Okay. If C equal to 0, okay, find F. C equal to 0.
32, ma'am.
32, ma'am.
32. Correct. So if you have any question, you can. Anybody has any question?
Yes, ma'am.
No,
Somebody has said yes, sir. What? What is your question? Somebody said yes. What is your question? Hello? No question?
No, ma'am.
No. But somebody said there is question.
Ma'am, she just responded to you, ma'am.
Okay. Just responded to me. In linear equations in two variables, that's all, nothing else is there. Graph, and then if you want, I can show you one video. Want to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Before we move on to how linear equations are plotted on the coordinate plane, let's quickly review what linear equations in two variables are. We've seen equations like 2x plus 5y equals 12 or x minus y equals 4 and so on. These are examples of linear equations in two variables. Each of the equations has two variables, x and y. But how do we generalize it? How can we define it? We can say that a linear equation in two variables is of the form ax plus by equals c, or sometimes it's also written as ax plus by plus c equals 0. Both are correct. For example, the first equation can also be written as 2x plus 5y minus 12 equals 0. For this video and the future ones in this topic, we will assume the second one to be the general equation for linear equations in two variables. Ax plus by plus c equals 0. A, b and c are constants, while x and y are variables. A is the coefficient of x and b is the coefficient of y. This is the general form we will consider. Hold on. Are there any conditions here? Yes. First, the constants a, b and c have to be real numbers. And the second condition is interesting and I want you to listen to it carefully. Both a and b cannot be 0 together. To be non-zero. Can you come up with a mathematical way to write the second condition? It's interesting and a very innovative way to write it. It can be written as a squared plus b squared will not equal 0. This will imply that both cannot be 0 together. Because if both are 0, then the left-hand side will equal 0. Now let's just consider the first equation we saw. 2x plus 5y equals 12. What is the solution to this equation? The solution to a linear...
Why are they saying, why is she saying a squared plus b squared not equal to 0? Why is she saying?
Ma'am, 0
Both cannot be
square.
0, ma'am. That cannot be equation, ma'am, if a and b are 0.
A squared plus b squared. So what they mean is either a can be 0 or b can be 0. Both cannot be 0. A squared plus b squared. So when can it be 0? A squared plus b squared. Is a squared equal to minus b squared? No. If it is 0.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
linear equation in two variables is a pair of values. One for x and the other for y, which makes both the sides of the equation equal. Can you think of x and y values here which will equate both the sides? One possibility is when x is 1 and y is 2. So we can say that x equals 1 and y equals 2 is one of the solutions to the equation 2x plus 5y equals 12. Can you tell me if x equals 3 and y equals 1 is the solution to this equation?
Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
The answer is no.
No.
If we substitute these values on the left-hand side, we get a value of 11, which is not equal to 12. So this pair of values is not a solution to this equation. Now that we have a basic idea about linear equations in two variables, we can move on to looking at pairs of linear equations in two variables.
That's it. Now time is up, I think. Can we close? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Bye.